Good morning. I just want to have a little yarn today about why it's so hard. I found through my observation and what's come to me over the years to take responsibility for my behaviour and actions to the best of my ability. Um, yeah, it's a really hard thing to do. It's one of the hardest things I've ever worked on in my life is to eat humble pie and accept that I had a part to play in all events during the course of my life, and it's hard from the point I found. It's so much easier and to want to put that onto other things and other people. And it come to me where I really had a good look at this, and I looked at it from the point of the difficulty that it is to develop in one's life, and I went back to how I was brought up, and what I found looking at the interactions between my mother and father, uh, myself as a sibling, other siblings, and observing how other children are with parents in general. And one thing that was apparent to me was that when we're all children and our parents start questioning our behaviour, we tend to not consciously um, um, justify or give reason to not displease our parents. Like if a parent says, "Oh, what are you doing? You did this, and that's wrong." And if they're saying that you've done something wrong and you shouldn't do that, a normal reaction from a baby or a preschooler is to go, "Oh, I didn't do that," or it was Melissa, or it was Bill, or no, Mum, no, Dad, no, not me, no, I didn't do that, no, 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 not me. And I looked at that inside out, and it occurred to me that from an early age, most of us, um, we act dishonestly to the people that we love, and we don't do this consciously. I don't think the love that we have between us and our parents is the only thing we got when we're young. So we do this by not wanting our parents to reject us as children. We want to please our parents. We don't want to make our parents unhappy with what we're doing. The last thing somebody wants to do when they're in love with somebody, and when they love you, is to is to reinforce their displeasement about you. You're going to go the other way, and you're gonna say, no, it wasn't me, or justify it, or throw off or blame um, the other person. And I took that through my life. And I think most people do, where we don't know any better. We weren't taught any better. And we don't do that because we decide not to take any responsibility for what we're doing and our behaviours and our thoughts and our actions. We do it because we love somebody. We love our parents. And I think that's a normal thing to do. Well, it is, because love conquers everything. Love comes before, the whole lot in life. There's nothing other than love, and the love that we all start out with is some kind of love between the people that bring us up, be that parents or be that other people, and we don't want to disappoint those people. So we we start travelling through life, and we're trying to pull in the line during school about our behaviour and what we do and our interactions with other people, and we just keep throwing off, and no, it was Joe Blow, or it was Bill. Oh, the reason why that happened is because of this, and the reason why that happened because of this, and the reason why that happened because of this. And we don't want people not to like us. We don't want associates or other people. We want to impress people. We want to, put on a good show in front of people. Like, we got it together, and the last thing we want to do is go, yeah, no, I did that. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. I was out of line. Yeah, well, I could have been better at that. Yeah, well, I stole that. I did that. I was mean. I wasn't nice in that situation. I chose to do that. Um, we don't want to do that. Well, generally, people don't want to do that. Um, because, one, they're not conscious of what they're doing, in respect to, it's all been developed out of love. And when I say it's too hard to do it, it's too hard from a conditioning point of view. It's not a conscious thing. The way we get conditioned is the way we are. And go try telling that to a person who doesn't get what you say, and a lot of people don't get what you say, because everybody's coming from their own experiences and their own feelings, and their own position in life. So learning, well, the benefits of learning to be starting to be responsible for that stuff is enormous. Um, well, I can only speak what happened to me when I attempted to become responsible for that stuff. My world started to open up. I started breaking free of the person I used to be. I actually started changing. But it was hard work, because I had to deal and I had to sift through all that conditioning that I had been accustomed to. And it was hard. It was really challenging. It wasn't easy. Um, but I started to I started to feel better when I started admitting that I was struggling, and I started admitting that I was, somewhat dishonest. I thought within my soul, and a person that would lie, and a person that would tell everybody what they wanted to hear. Again, because I didn't want to be rejected. And, I relate that back to being a child. I didn't want to be rejected as a child. Um, but it kind of it put me into a struggle in my life. I really I really struggled portraying that, and it was really hard work putting on two faces. It was like I was split. It was like I was a bit of timber, and I was cut in two, because nobody had ever shown me. I should be accountable emotionally, and for my thoughts, and for my behaviour. Nobody had ever shown me that. Like I got put into prison on so many occasions as a consequence for my behaviour, but nobody showed me in prison that I was responsible for all this. The consequences for that was me being locked in a little cell and looking through bars, and that just pissed me off. So the freedom that I found in that in seeing that, and turning that around, what was great. I really enjoyed starting to talk about my feelings, and talking about my struggles, and talking about how hard it was, and how I wanted to do things that I didn't want to go back to, because if I did do the things that I used to do in past behaviour, then the consequences for that I knew I didn't want to wear anymore. So I found talking about my internal honesty was what was freedom. It gave me a sense of freedom to say that I was doing things that I knew now that was wrong. Maybe when I realised that, I kind of got a conscience that what wasn't good in my soul, and what was dishonest in my soul. And when I got that conscience, I had some kind of a point of reference where I could actually measure my my dishonest behaviour, and what I was doing against the person that I used to be, and that gave me a form of reference. And when I had that form of reference, I knew the new way for me was a better way. What was a better way to conduct myself in this life? Because, as I said, there was freedom in me becoming responsible for my thoughts and my feelings, and my actions, and my behaviour. And I really liked it. It was very it was very cathartic, and it just felt a lot better. But it was hard. It was hard. Because I had to display to people and the world that I was human, that I had feelings, that I could be mean, I could be aggressive, I was threatening, I could intimidate, I lied. I had motives to get what I want in my life. I couldn't be trusted. I didn't trust myself. There was good reason why people didn't trust me. I wouldn't have trusted me. No way in the world would I have trusted me. So by showing all that stuff within me, I was able to get comfortable with exposing it, and the more I exposed myself, another thing that I found interesting when I did open up and took responsibility and stopped lying and for my behaviours and my actions and my feelings, that I drew a lot of people close to me. People related to it. People could relate to feeling inadequate or unsure or having doubt or struggles with other people or unhappiness or not feeling loved. People could relate to all this stuff, and it was my daughter just fell down the stairs. Kid to school. Jeez. Come on, I'm talking, man. Jeez, like freaking hell.
You think I meant that?
Yeah, pick it up, princess. Have a good day. Love ya.
You too.
Okay. Yeah, and people did relate to it, and it was nice that I found some kind of relatability in that openness, and yeah, it was a lot better being like that than being closed off, and I think everybody at some stage will look at their lives and ask the question, like, why has things been the way they are? And even if you don't find what I've found in my life with not wanting to be rejected by people and the people that you love, and again, this is all unconscious. It's normal. Even if you don't find the same things that I found, which you probably won't, it's a better journey to have a look within and try to discover and look at it and take accountability for it. It's more exciting. I learn a lot more about my soul and how I operated and why I operated, and I was asking questions. If and there's a saying, if you don't ask the questions, you're not going to get the answers. And it's so easy to seek that outside of yourself and become really rational and very logical and wanting to learn things, and that's all good. But there's a whole new pool within your soul, and it is your emotions. And I highly recommend that you dive in there and you have a good look at that stuff, because I believe it powers you. Like we are powered from our feelings and our emotions. we're motivated from there. And if you're stuck, and a lot of people are, and I was stuck, I found the way out through looking at my feelings and looking at my thoughts and looking at what I was doing in my life. And you know, it had to be better than the life I was living. And you know, don't disregard struggle. You know, like if you broke your arm, what would you do? You know, you would go to a hospital and get yourself fixed. You know, any bit of struggle is a broken arm. You know, we're all entitled to live a really mended life, and the more you can take responsibility for those thoughts and feelings and your behaviours and your actions, the more you can mend anything that that you might struggle with. And you know, a lot of people struggle and they don't even know that they're struggling, man. They don't even know that they're struggling because they can't identify it. No one's ever shown them that. You know, you own your struggles. It's, you know, you like, irrespectively of things going bad in your life, lots of bad things happen to good people. Lots of bad things happen to bad people. That's your whack, you know. That's your whack. You know, but the way to get out of it is responsibility for it. Well, that's what I found. Responsibility and accountability, by just identifying that your fear of rejection. Just by identifying you have fear of rejection, then you might allow yourself to get help. But you know, most people don't want to show they need help. You know, want to show it, want to protect it, want to portray something to the rest of the world. But you know what? We're all in the same boat, guys. Nobody's excluded. Doesn't matter how together you think you are. Nobody is excluded. Nobody. Doesn't matter what money you got, doesn't matter what you portray to the world or what face you put out there, you are a human being with the same emotions as everybody else. And with that, you have a great Monday. I'm just about to go to the gym, being the responsible little ranger I am. Yeah. Have a look at that stuff. Have a look at that responsibility around the way you were brought up. That's if you choose to. Take care.